We're in the studio, another day. A couple of things that I want to do today, so I will just take you along. Busy working on the design of the Cyberdeck. It takes a process to be able to bring all those things together. So it's just a Cyberdeck, I understand. Not only is it the Cyberdeck, it's the process of not to rush through and create content and forget about the design and the process. So for me, the process is more important than the content. So from here, the Mac that I'm using, my desktop, I can be able to do the sketches. But as I said, I prefer to do it on the iPad. It's all about creating the prototypes and being able to see the process of what you're doing. So it's like you're molding. It's like a person who has clay. So you're able to take the product that you're making and look at the prototype and say, okay, what does this represent and how does it feel and what type of corners do I want to make? It was actually a very interesting definition of a name to come from desk to design, and I live through that every day. Welcome to another episode, and in this episode I will just give you that process again, and in every other episode it will be a desk to design process. So I have the idea, I'm able to put it down on paper, and from paper I'm able to take my iPad and design it, and then from the design I can be able to print it and see what it's all about. So I've been working on the Cyberdeck case to hold everything, and from the drawings that I have above here, so as you can see, that was the Cyberdeck with the fans and everything and the plans. As I'm doing my thinking, I can be able to do my changes and look at the product while I have it here and say, okay, what do I want to change in terms of the body, and then do my measurements and say, okay, for here I need this and that, and then I need to change these. So it's more of a process of like you're creating something out of clay and you're playing around with it and seeing what does it how does it translate to you and the vision that you have. This I can always come back to it if I want to create a case for a raspberry and change it and modify it. For this one, I will look at it again also to create another Cyberdeck, but a more playful one, maybe with detachable sides and everything. This and this are very similar. The only difference was that this was about 9 millimeters from here to here. So I trimmed it to about 6, but technically I need about, we'd say 4 if I want the raspberry to stand. Now I put this away. On this one, I have the raspberry and then I have the screen. And then I have the HDMI that is, it sits from the HDMI micro of the Raspberry Pi to the HDMI mini of the Raspberry Pi to the HDMI micro of the screen. Power. You might be wondering how you're going to power it. My idea is to have this on the side that is going to be magnetic, so a small other magnetic case that will sit here and you can attach it, and if I want I can also turn it and have it to sit at the back, or you can have it sit wherever you want, but I'll make it in a way that it's magnetic, and you can also remove it and charge it separately. This is a power bank. So the power bank is going to either sit on the side, and what I'm using on the power bank will be this USB 4 sitting on this side. So the power can move from here to here. It will have a micro, it will have a small USB cable, USB-C to USB-C cable from here to here. The shortest I can ever find. That will I have to find, and I have to make note of it. Find short USB-C cable. Now once we have the USB-C cable sitting there, so you're going to visualize with me. We put this there, and then we take this, we put it here. So we push this inside there. The next thing that is going to come is the speaker, and this speaker is going to sit there. Right, gotta behave, sit there. Right, so you have the speaker seated there, you have the USB-C seated there, the power bank, the screen. Then you can have all these working by itself. Then the keyboard is going to be there, and with the keyboard is Bluetooth, so you don't need to connect anything. But I want to raise it to a certain level, like here, so I have to create another frame for this onto this, sort of a rectangle type of frame that will sit like that. The mouse, I have a problem because I tried to look for the tiniest mouse I can ever find. Very difficult, but I have a small mouse that I'm going to use using the it uses a USB Bluetooth system to connect to the mouse. That's not a problem. And basically that's it. Now on top here, I was thinking maybe to go also the magnetic way and have a camera that sits at the top here, or sits here, or even sits here. So this one you can be able to do your machine learning, like for learning objects and identifying them and everything from the Pi. Because also, as much as I'm creating the Cyberdeck, I want to put systems in here that you can do a lot with. So it's not just for aesthetic value. I also want to put a Bluetooth new system that you can be able to send messages and everything encrypted, with a former guy of Twitter. So this will sit here, and probably also magnetic, so it will can clip on, or so I have to think of ways I can add a magnetic strip at the top, and then this will be also magnetic, and then you can play around with it and sit it anywhere. And the same with this, I want also for it to be able to be clipped around. Then from there I can be able to start playing around with the design of how it will look outside. Oh, it's my arm. So when I talk about other designs, we have things like this. This is what I mean. So once I'm done with the design of the frame. Once I'm done with the design of the frame and everything, then I can be able to come in here and play around with the aesthetic look of the sides. Now I can be able to look and say, what did this person do with the sides and for the speaker and ventilation. So a bit of research to see how to play around with the body. So I have different concepts that I have found that I want to creatively copy. And the same with these most of them are usually like AI designs, and it's taking those concepts and trying to create new ideas, you see. So why did they choose to have this, and what can I do? How can I incorporate this into this design? So for the speakers, what will I put? Because I still have to mount an extra case, which is about 10 millimeters on top here to hold the screen, and then with the screen also to be able to cover the the speaker. Yep. So that's basically it. That's what I'm working on.